Okay, in this presentation I'm just going to talk a little bit more about style sheets and the value for accessibility, but also some of the dangers posed to accessibility by the use of styling. Okay, we understand what style sheets effectively are. They're a way to change the appearance of a web page, but without really changing the structure. Okay, so say this is a web page. That's its structure. It's got a body, it's got a heading, it's got a division, and it's got some text in the middle of it, and then the end of the division, end of the body. Okay, so that's if you like the structure of the page. With styling, you can change the web page appearance without actually changing that structure. We might in fact imagine it as being analogous to makeup. Okay, for example, here you see a picture of the actress Ava Longoria without makeup, she of Desperate Housewives. If I now put in what she looks like with makeup, that is what she looks like. It's very different, isn't it, from this? And so therefore nothing has actually changed on her face. Her eyes remain in the same position, her nose remains in the same position, her mouth and teeth and lips remain in the same position, but they have been styled to look exquisite as she does here and as she does not here. So that is essentially what a style sheet is. It basically stylizes the page that we're doing. So here, what we've seen is we've already styled the div. I'm using the hello2.apx that comes from the second tutorial. But let me just show you some more radical stylings I can add. At the moment we're styling the div, but let's look. We can also style the h1 if we want to. So let's just style the h1. Okay, so let's put in h1. Okay, and put in a squiggly bracket. I'm inside the style sheet at the moment, and what I'm going to do now is change the color of the font. So let's say go down here. This is a beautiful thing about using Visual Studio. It'll give you the list of the kind of things you can change. So I kind of click on color, I type in a colon, and it gives me a list of the values I can attach. So let's make the text green. Okay, so now for all H1s, they will always appear green. So now if I go into hello2.apx and I run it, you will now see that our page looks different. There's Hello World again, and that's what it looked like originally. Okay, so we've kind of now intercepted the H1. We're saying that the H1 should always look like this. But we can go for more radical styling. So let's go even more radical. Let's go back into the style sheet. Let's now say that H1s are also going to have something like as you see here, the list of all the things we can change. Just change the background color. Background color, colon. Let's make it yellow. Okay, so choose yellow. This is, as I say, this is a nice thing about doing it in Visual Studio. You get all kinds of help for putting your font. And also now, I'm going to change the font. Change the font family. Okay, press return, colon, and I'm going to type in something like Arial. I mean, it's best to avoid those marks at the top with @ at the side, because I don't basically know what they do. So let's just say Arial. Okay, so now this has completely changed the H1, and now if we go into our play the page again, hello2.aspx, what we see now is a very different. As you see, Hello World is now extremely different in the way it looks. Okay, but not only the tag of the H1 we could change, there are also other tags within that document we could look at. You see, there is the body tag itself. Now, if we can change the say for example the background of the body tag, we will be able to offer maybe a much nicer page. So I'll put in body here, I type in a squiggly bracket, so on the next page I immediately get the list of things I can change. Let me change the background color, and I'll make this time, I'm going to make it the whole page grey. Okay, things which also might be quite interesting to change in a body tag are things like the margin. So let's say the margin left, let's make the margin left something like we'll say so we're going to make it come in 50 pixels. If I put in 50.px, px means pixels. Okay, so I've given it a grey background the whole page, and I've given it a margin left of 50. Okay, so now if I go back into a hello2.aspx and I run that, okay, you will now see that the page is very different. As you see, it's grey. and it's got a margin of 50 pixels. So again, we're totally altering the appearance of the page, but without altering the informational structure. So if a speech browser was reading this, it would still know that the hello world again is the important text, the important heading. It would know this text here is the less important paragraph text information. Okay, so it would know how to render that potentially in speech. But now I'm going to take you even further radical. You see, because styling can not only change the colors and the positions of things and the backgrounds, fonts and things, you can also set it up to actually specify the exact position on a page. Okay, so what I can do, for example, suppose I put in the H1 here. If I then put something like this, position, colon, and I type in absolute, this then means that whatever I put in will be a question of pixels, and it won't rely on its position within the HTML. Okay, it will actually rely on its actual numerical pixel value, so, or it could be percentage value. So put in position absolute. Now the position of objects in HTML can be done in style by the top, the left, okay, indicating where it is, and also the width and the height. So if I put something like top, colon, and if I put 50%, okay, what that will mean is that it will appear 50% down the page when I play it. So if I click on now on hello2.aspx, I do again, I play it out. Okay, so now I play it, and what should see, now you see hello world is halfway down the page, and as I kind of change the page height, for example, suppose I try to move the page up and down, it should actually move around, although my computer seems to have stopped.